and Q107.5 WHBQ FM, Germantown, Memphis. It's time for Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Here is your host, the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
They are off. They are swinging here at Southwind, and we're in the hub, right in the bend of the 18th hole. We got a beautiful view. I mentioned yesterday just how gorgeous this golf course looks right now. It is in great shape. Rough can be rough. If you're in the fairway, if you're an accurate driver, you can play pretty well. Tommy Fleetwood off to an unbelievable start. He was 4 under through his first 4 holes. He's still at 4 under through 8. Harris English has made a run. He's 4 under, the former FESJC champion. He's 4 under through 11. Pearson Coody, 2 under through 11. Gary Woodland, 2 under through 5. And then you got a bunch at 1 under, including Scotty Scheffler, who just missed a birdie on the 6th hole. I mean, it went into the lip, looked like it was going to fall in, and then came out. But he's 1 under. He's playing with Rory McIlroy, who had a bogey, then righted the shift, birdied the number 4 hole, and he is at even par. Lots of big names. Hovland is 1 under. A lot of people now out on the golf course. Plenty more to come this afternoon. It's just going to be a lot of fun. So many different columns today. Jason Munz, Jeff Calkins had columns, particularly about the melancholy and how you got to stick it out. And, you know, I'm not sure that there won't be something good in 28. There'll be something. I'm pretty sure of that. How good, I don't know. You heard these players yesterday. They were all talking about how they don't want this thing to go away. And where they're going. Other places, if they're not successful, maybe they come back to Memphis after 28 or 29. You never know. I know this. Somebody please explain to me how Greensboro is getting a championship event. And I can tell you how it's happening. They are now getting a championship series. And the reason for that is because and the greater Greensboro market is slightly bigger than Memphis, not much, but it's all because of Raymond James. And they got $40 million from the state. So the state put up a bunch of money. Raymond James put up a bunch of money. And that is how this deal is moving to Greensboro, which is just like crazy to me. Their metro area, 1.7 mil. Memphis's metro area, 1.34 million. That according to ChatGPT 2024. We got 633,000 in Memphis itself. The city of Greensboro has only got 305,000, but you got to look at the metro market. And the other thing about this is when you are a championship event and all the great players, especially when you're a playoff, you get a lot of out-of-town folks. The galleries for a Thursday here are absolutely outstanding. Outstanding, but it doesn't matter. 27 will be the final year, and how they go to Greensboro, it's all about the money. There is no question about that. How about being on the money? You know, the women's soccer team at the University of Memphis is 21st in the country. They were winners over Kennesaw State last night, a shutout, 2-0. But it was their 41st home win, consecutively, 41st straight home win. Brooks Monaghan has really got something going. We've talked about this before, but when you see these kinds of numbers, 41 straight home wins, 21st in the country, as high as number 2 last year. He first got into the Canadian pipeline. Now he's got a Japanese pipeline. He's always thinking outside of the box. He does it with much less money than the powerful women's soccer programs. It's a fantastic story. It really is. I give him all the credit in the world. So you get a chance going out there. The new stadium hasn't been built yet. I think they've broken ground. But this is a program worth looking at. And then, speaking of money, how about the easy money for a guy named Mark Walter? Mark Walter is a part owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers. He bought 14 months ago the Los Angeles Lakers from the Buss family. He bought them for $10 billion. 14 months later, he sold them for $12.5 billion. In other words, in 14 months, Mark Walter made $2.5 billion on that investment. That is absolutely crazy, ladies and gentlemen. But that is what happened. I don't know what's going to happen to Jeannie Buss, because in the original deal with Mark Walter, she was guaranteed to be the governess for 5 years. She's only 14 months in. They're saying she's still going to be there, but things could change. And now the guys that bought it, Bob Iger from Disney and Josh Kushner, that's Jared, the president's son-in-law, that is Josh Kushner, once owned a part of the Grizzlies. So it is pretty interesting. You never know who you're going to see at TPC Southwind. It is a big party. And here's the guy from Huey's. Alex Boggs joins us now. Years ago, I know your dad, Thomas, who started this, I guess, 47 years ago. I used to go up there because I was really good friends and got to know your dad through Buddy McEwen. Just one of the greatest guys of all time. And they used to play in the Settlers. I didn't know until this morning your dad played in the boxcar?
The box tops.
Hold on. Let me get you on. He played with the box tops?
So, yeah, Dad played in the box tops, toured the country playing with them, and he was the drummer on that side of things. Played with Buddy and the Settlers, who, like you said, was one of the good guys. We used to love going up, as Dad called it, to the Fraser Country Club and seeing him out at Davy Crockett and playing around and had a blast.
So your dad loved golf. Has that Boggs tradition carried on with you?
Very much so. Dad, he picked up golf late. He didn't start playing until he was probably in his 40s, and he just got the bug like a lot of people and couldn't quit. And I've been playing since I was a kid, took lessons from Buddy.
Yeah.
And now
you and me both, brother.
Yeah. And now I've got my kids playing as well. Henry is here with me today.
Yeah, I see.
We played a little bit of hooky, so if you're listening from Maria Montessori School, I apologize. But it's only week one. We've got time to get it figured out. But Henry was super excited to come see some of the guys we watch on TV in person.
We talk about great success stories all the time, and Memphis has plenty of those. But I think Huey's and your dad really, they are part of that success scene. 47 years ago, the guy opens up really a bar that sells burgers, and now what do you got, 10 stores?
Yeah, it's hard to believe. It's we've got 10 locations now, 8 in Memphis, 2 in North Mississippi, but 10 total, and it's we're actually 56 years in. So
56?
1970.
I shortchanged you.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So we threw a huge block party last year for our 55th anniversary. We tried to do one on the 50th, and of course that was 2020, so it didn't work out very well. But we did a 55th and shut down Madison Avenue and Tucker at the original location. But Dad did such a good job getting this going, getting the foundation of an operation. And, we're blessed. My mom, my sisters, my brother, and I. At the end of the day, Memphis just takes care of us. And we try and do our part and get out in the community, do events, do fundraisers. We cook burgers in parking lots all year long. But at the end of the day, we're here, and we've been here 56 years because Memphis has embraced us, the Memphians, the community, and we're really grateful for the people here.
Second generation, right? There could be a third generation. I know some fourth generation business, by the way. That's really hard for them to be successful. Second generation usually can do it, but your family has really done one heck of a job. When your dad passed away, how many stores were there then? How many restaurants?
So when Dad passed away, we had 7 of them in 2008.
Okay, so he had already seen the explosion. But you've expanded since then, so obviously you guys have this down.
Well, we've been fortunate. My sister Lauren, my sister Ashley, and my sister Samantha have done such a good job. It was tough for all of us in a family business when Dad passed, and You walk back into the office, and his office is there empty. You walk into the stores, and if you've ever been in Huey's, you know how much pictures we have.
Oh yeah.
But it's weird when you're his kid and there's 30 pictures of your dad staring at you a month after he passes, and you're supposed to be at work.
Yeah. And he's 25 years old or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Those young pictures of him.
And but it's they've done such a good job. I'm very fortunate to be working with them, and we love all being together and goofing off and working hard, playing hard. But we really pride ourselves in getting into the restaurants. And you might look up on any given day and there's 4 Bogs all running a shift in a Huey's, and we feel like that's a really big part of what keeps us connected and what keeps our culture and keeps our stores what we have.
It may be 10 stores, but it is a family business, and I think that is important. I got to ask you this: what happened to the toothpicks?
Well, that was one of those things that was just an unbelievable Memphis tradition, and we took it for granted and didn't really think about it. And then COVID happens, you start looking at, okay, well, hold on, this frill pick was in a burger, now it's in the ceiling. It was shot through a straw, and once we started looking at the regulations and then the health department, it kind of just went to the wayside. So it's a fun tradition, and we've still got some fun stories about it, but that one is not as welcome as it used to be, unfortunately.
Too bad. Some things go away that you just hate, like maybe this golf tournament. Food scene here is terrific. You guys are a big part of it. You got 10. Any more coming?
We're always looking for new locations. We firmly believe Memphis has room for 1 or 2 more Hueys. We're looking at locations all throughout the year. We don't have anything set. Nothing is planned, but we'd love to open up number 11 next year if the opportunity presents itself.
Well, I used to be a regular because I lived in Midtown at the original. Now I go to the one, what is that? I can't remember even the street on Poplar and
Aaron Drive. Technically. It's Mendenhall, but really Aaron Drive.
Yeah. Which, if you can tell us, which location does the best?
Poplar and Aaron Drive. It's the biggest store.
Well, you just expanded it too.
We added that patio on, and it's been such a blessing for us. It's really helped us cut down on ticket times, cut down on the wait list, and we added almost 80 seats with that patio. And East Memphis has shown us that they were ready for a patio. They were excited to have one. But it's the biggest, it's the busiest. We really appreciate it. But it's funny because when you divide by the number of seats, Midtown is our busiest store per seat. But unfortunately, it's only got 24 tables, and there's no room for it to get any bigger.
Well, I used to watch the Settlers in there. I miss those days for sure, and I miss your dad and definitely Buddy McEwen. But I miss my Huey's Burgers because I'm always going to you. So congratulations. By the way, say hello to my good buddy. I know he consults with you a little bit, George Silverman. Tell him I said hello, and thank you for coming out.
Yeah, we're super excited to be here. We're going to go watch some excellent golf. As you said, I mean, the restaurant scene in Memphis is unbelievable. Some of the local restaurants that are out here, I just saw Danny Andrini with Pronto Pups walking in. My son's wearing his Andy and Michael I Love Pizza and I Love Focaccia hat that we got at one of their special dinners. So there's some awesome opportunities out here to support local restaurants, and we're excited to come out and see the grounds. And we'll see where this tournament ends up. But at the end of the day, it's been so good for Memphis. FedEx has been so good for Memphis, and it's a special cause for St. Jude.
Thank you, really. I appreciate you coming by. Just so you know, Scotty and Rory are on 8, so you can go catch them on 9 if you hustle.
You can do it.
You take your son with you.
Henry's excited to see Rory today, that's for sure.
That is Alex Boggs from Huey's. There's more coming. I can't wait to find out when that happens. Thank you, Alex.
Thanks a ton for having me. Great
to
be here. You got
it. That is Alex Boggs from Huey's. We go across town. Maybe at Chickasaw already. Pete Pranica, who is the television voice of the Grizzlies, always joins us in this time slot. He comes by, and I know he's playing in the Pro-Am. I played in that last year. It was at Spring Creek. They moved it to Chickasaw this year because Spring Creek is redoing all of their greens. Pete, thank you for joining us as always. Is your golf game in shape for this Pro-Am today? Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I'm just walking up the front drive here at Chickasaw, getting ready to drop off my clubs and, find some cold water. That's going to be job 1, 2, and 3 today.
Hydrate. Every player said that for sure. All right, the schedule release is out. We got some great games, a triple header on NBC to begin the year. But we found out a few things about the Grizzlies schedule. MLK Day is back, thank goodness. I hope you'll be moderating the symposium. And then we know the NBA Cup group is Oak City, New Orleans, the Clippers, and Minnesota. Not the easiest grouping, that is for sure. Your thoughts on what you know?
which is precious little, obviously. Only with the Cup games, it's going to be a very, very difficult Cup schedule for the Grizzlies. But we'll see how all that pans out. This is unfortunately I'm going to be in the middle of a round of golf and trying to figure out what our schedule looks like. And we're always looking to see, okay, where do we get some days off? We know that we will be in Minneapolis probably Thanksgiving night, getting ready to play Black Friday in Minnesota. So there's not a whole lot that we really know at this point. And also trying to figure out, from a local broadcast perspective, which games are going to be national that we won't be able to carry locally. There's a lot of mystery, and it's kind of like Christmas Day. We're going to open up the schedule and see what we got.
Yeah, well, speaking of Christmas Day, I don't know if I misread this, but are the Grizzlies playing on Christmas Day? Are they in that grouping?
No.
Okay.
No.
Right.
I think the national network saw, the over under it. I think what did Vegas have the Grizzlies like at 25 wins? So
I think it was 26 and a half, which I would go over. And I'm not trying to be a homer. I can't imagine if Edey is healthy, if Ty Jerome can play like he did last year when they actually played him. And if Boozer is what we think and Coward has another year like he did last year, 26 and a half is crazy to me.
Well, the West is very, very difficult, and the East has gotten better. So, Vegas doesn't typically give the Grizzlies a whole lot of respect, and with that win total, I don't know that they're going to be in a huge number of national games, which means more local TV, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, more shekels in your pocket, I guess, so to speak. Do you have any idea about the symposium? Because for me, that has been one of the days, if I'm in town, I don't want to miss. I always learn something. You do such a good job of moderating. Do we have any idea if that is coming back and who might be coming?
I have no reason to believe that it's not going to happen after being basically forced into taking kind of a year off from it. I'm sure it'll be back. We're way ahead of the curve trying to figure out who the honorees would be. We know that the Grizzlies will be playing the Rockets. It'll be an evening game. So that actually is kind of good because so many times we've had mid-afternoon games and it's been harder for people to get out there, even though it is a federal holiday. But it'll be a marquee game, and I'm sure that we're going to have some outstanding honorees. And, I thank you for the compliment on the symposium. It's one of the things that I take a special pride in and work very hard to ask really, really good questions and just let the panelists go, because typically they have some amazing stories through their lives and some amazing I think of Nancy Lieberman talking about how as a young child she got to know Muhammad Ali, and that was part of the reason that she got involved in civil and human rights. And so you find out all these things that otherwise you may not know, and it's always great. It's just great to listen to them because their stories, their experiences are just amazing.
I'm putting you on the spot, but if there's somebody that you would like to see get honored, is there a guy or a gal?
Yeah, I'm biased, obviously, because I'm a Notre Dame guy. Alan Page, who went to Notre Dame, was an All-American, part of the Purple People Eaters.
Wasn't he a judge?
Supreme Court Justice in the state of Minnesota. But unfortunately, I think his health is in decline, and I don't know that he would be able to do it. But certainly someone who would be very, very worthy. That's the guy that I've always felt and I've had a special affinity for, because of the Notre Dame angle. But again, I just had tremendous respect for him. I actually had the chance to meet him once and interview him once, and just an incredible individual and would be a worthy recipient, but I don't think his health would allow him to make the trip.
Oh, you are spot on with that. That's a great idea if his health would allow him. All right, yesterday the Lakers were sold by Mark Walter, who's also owner of the LA Dodgers. Man, has he got money. He bought them 14 months ago for $10 billion, which is the highest price tag an NBA team ever got. He sold them 14 months later. Pete, that's a year and 2 months for $12.5 billion. He made $2.5 billion in 14 months. This stuff's crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, when you think the Grizzlies sold for what, like $350, $360 back in the day.
No, $350. I think $350 is right on.
Yeah, and they're valued at well over $1 billion. I saw the valuations, and the Grizzlies are more valuable than some Major League Baseball franchises. So it's I mean it's been crazy. That I think there's a lot of conjecture around the whole LA sporting situation. It's like, okay, why would you do this? But hey, if you can make $2.5 billion flipping a sports team, and you still got the Dodgers, yeah, sure, why not? It's very interesting, and I think the bigger intrigue as far as LA owners is what's going to happen to Steve Ballmer. Are they going to come down on him in some type of financial penalty because of everything that's going on with Kawhi Leonard? Now the disclosure that Kawhi had a sweetheart deal with Daktronics that built the one-of-a-kind scoreboard inside Intuit Dome. So, a lot of intrigue in Los Angeles for sure.
Oh, crazy. Yeah, I don't know. There's two different entities now that they think they used to circumvent the cap to pay Kawhi Leonard. So what is his culpability in all of that too? Should he be suspended for a period of time? Because you would think he had to know, but I guess we won't know. You cover the FESJC, running around doing stuff for the network. You got a favorite FESJC story? Last thing before we let you slip away to go play. It's good to be Pete. Guys giving wine tours, playing golf, coming back home here just to play in a Pro-Am. Not a bad life, Pranica.
No, it's not bad. Hey, and I want to give a shout out to everybody who was at the St. Jude Jam last night. We raised probably over $1 million last night. Just
really? Wow.
Oh, the Give to Live was absolutely off the chain, and we had a couple of matching and challenge gifts from some donors. And yeah, I mean, I'm getting goosebumps even talking about it. The amount of money that was raised last night at the St. Jude Jam was absolutely fantastic. So to get back to your question, I just have a soft spot in my heart for Rory McIlroy. I don't know that he's going to win. I love him. I love Tommy Fleetwood. I love the way Tommy Fleetwood plays.
Did you hear about Tommy Fleetwood this morning?
No, I did not. Just got here.
He was 4 under through 4 holes. He went birdie, par, eagle. The ball was on the lip of a trap. He got in the trap, balls above his feet, chipped it in for eagle, then birdied number 4. He was 4 under through 4 holes. He's now 4 under through 8. So that is a great story.
Yeah, but that's how I play Southwind anyway. So I'm not that. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding. 4 over is more like it. And I just love, the story today in the Daily Memphian with Rory McIlroy and, really speaking out on behalf of the tournament and its importance and the need to be here. And I think that's tremendous. And right now, the PGA Tour and their commissioner is not on my Christmas card list because what they're doing in Memphis is criminal.
100%. Pete, as always, we thank you. We'll talk next week, and go hit them well at Chickasaw. I don't know if you've played it lately, but they redid it a couple of years ago. It's really a cool golf course.
I'm looking forward to it.
You got it. That is the voice on TV of your Memphis Grizzlies. That is Pete Pranica. He's brought to you in part by Sheldon Rosengarten, Marks Bensdorf. Oh, my goodness. You know that Sheldon is saying the real estate market is so hot right now. If your house hasn't sold in the last 30 to 45 days, something's wrong. What could be wrong? Well, the condition, for one thing, is buyers today are super picky. Another could be the price in relation to that condition. And in any event, consider getting another opinion about what you should do to kick-start your home into a positive gear to sell. In other words, if you've had a house on the market for a month and it hasn't moved, call Sheldon. People often say when you want the job done, you call Sheldon. That's what I would do. He can make sure your goals get accomplished. People often call him just to talk about their situation. He's more than happy to help. So if you want to talk, whether it's about your home or maybe on some advice you might have if you're a golf pro on how to improve his lousy golf game, call Sheldon at 483-0546 or MemphisRelocate.com. That's Sheldon at MemphisRelocate.com. We've relocated the Family Leisure Studio from our studios, the Flynn Broadcasting Center, to right here at the Hub. Greg and Eli this morning. John Harden right after me, then Stats and Bryant in the afternoon. That's where you are, but you need to go because there's a new sale going on, a great sale, by the way. You need to go to I-40 and Wooden Road and see the good folks at Family Leisure. We're talking baseball in a minute. We'll get a little golf insight from favorite stories of Tim Doolin on this tournament. And then a whole lot on the baseball races. That comes your way in just a minute.
Be sure to download our Hub 901 app for instant access to Sports 56 and all the Flynn Broadcasting stations from anywhere. Go to the App Store and get the Hub 901 app today.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Incorporated, Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Take your basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis. Shoot 360 is a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant objective feedback with hands-on one-on-one expert coaching. And now introducing Shoot 360 Cordova, a newly renovated 50,000 square foot facility with 2 NBA regulation size courts, 3 high school size courts, and 4 shooting bays with Shoot 360 technology. Memberships are now on a monthly basis. And yes, you can become a member at both locations. Whether you're an aspiring young talent, NBA player, or looking for a unique workout, all skill levels are welcome at Shoot 360 Memphis to learn proper shooting and passing techniques, improve fundamentals, and gain a competitive edge while having fun. Shoot 360 Memphis, now in Cordova and Collierville. Call them today at 901-779-3176. That's 901-779-3176. The future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawald Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawald is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
We welcome you back to the Hub on the Bend on the 18th hole of TPC Southwind. They're doing a good job of playing this golf course. It is really running out there, and Harris English just birdied number 13. He's 5 under today. Fleetwood, who started the day 4 under through 4 holes, 4 under. Here's a newish kind of name. And that is Stevens is 2 under. Gary Woodland is 2 under. Gerard 2 under, Kitayama 2 under, Victor Hovland is 2 under, Jordan Spieth moved to 1 under, Scotty Scheffler making the turn now, playing 10 at 1 under. At even par is Rory McIlroy, who he is playing. Oh no, McIlroy is at a bogey rather, I should say. He's now 1 over as they make the turn. So is Tom Kim. Ricky Fowler even through 4. Justin Thomas even through 4. Our sponsors out here, our title sponsor, Landers Ford. I always like to say you're getting the highest standard. Like if you're talking about Landers Cadillac, Cadillac's the standard of cars. The standard of car dealers is Landers. There's no doubt about it. You get the leaderboard, which I just gave you from Sissy's Log Cabin. Also brought to you by the Half Shell Canale Funeral Directors, Huey's. We talked to Alex Boggs a little earlier. Colonial Country Club, Forest Hill Grill, Holly Winter Jewelry, Ronnie Grisani's, First National Bank, Jim's Place Grill, Bangers Pickleball, Jason's Deli, and on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, is brought to you by Memphis Tourism and the Memphis Sports Council. Kevin Kane, I know, bitterly disappointed in the PGA Tour decision not to become a championship event here, but we'll be working, I am certain, along with that whole crew, including the Jack Sammons and his administration here, Robert Miller, to get a significant, maybe season-ending, maybe relegation kind of Challenger Tour event. That, of course, will be discussed in the next couple of years. In the meantime, we got baseball races to talk about. Our guru of baseball, that would be Tim Doolin. He joins us every Thursday in this time slot. First, before we talk about the baseball races, you love golf too. You came out here as a kid. You came out here, maybe you came to Colonial, actually, with your dad as a kid. What are your fondest memories of the FedEx St. Jude Classic? Good morning.
Yeah, my dad went to the one at Colonial when the 59 was shot.
Guyberger's 59.
And he had some good stories about it. But really, the best time, Wallo, is just the few years I came out there and did the show with you on the course was just fun. I saw a lot of friends, a lot of baseball guys, and then walking the course. Lived out there for a couple of years. So yeah, everything about Southwind to me is just really cool. I just wish they and hope that they get another event.
I think they'll get another event. Will we be happy with the other event? That will be the biggest question. Okay, we got Major League Baseball races. Can the Yankees catch the Rays? Who will win the American League Central? The White Sox are up 3.5 games now. And will it be Houston or Texas in the American League West?
Well, I think you got some interesting races all throughout baseball, not just in the American League. But I think the Yankees are going to make another push. I don't know that they're going to win the division, but I think they could make a late playoff push in the sense that they finally, I guess, gave up on the shortstop, and they've got an unbelievable prospect in Lombard. His dad played in the big leagues, got a brother that's playing right now, and this guy came up and is just lighting it up. Offensively, defensively, energy. Volpe just struggled. I think he's probably better suited to move to second base where he doesn't have to stress so much on playing shortstop. And I think a trade is probably going to be the best recipe for the Yankees and for Volpe. But yeah, and they got to get their guys healthy, just like all these clubs do. It's just all about staying healthy, coming down they got to get Stanton healthy. Obviously, they got to get Judge back healthy, and then manage those guys, up until the playoffs start, and see who's playing the best baseball.
In the National League, Braves, it looks like they've got it made. They're 9.5 up on the Phils. The Cubs, once down 9 games to the Brewers, have cut it to 3. The Cardinals are playing good baseball. Can't make up any ground on either of those. The Dodgers, well, they're going to win the West. But, there was a Freddie Freeman fall into the dugout yesterday. Left the game for a bit. What's his status? What are you hearing?
I texted Mookie last night, and he said he's going to be fine. I think and I did see on social media that he was already planning on having Friday off. So my my guess is that they'll give him today and tomorrow off. I think he's really, really sore, but nothing that's overly concerning, I don't think.
Who wins the National League Central?
Oh man, I got to think the Brewers, but they go into San Diego, and San Diego put it on them pretty good. Anytime you've got a complete team like the Brewers, where they play more of what you and I grew up loving in the National League, is that kind of ball. They play good defense. They pitch it really well. They've got some good relief pitching. They can run. They can hit and run. They got some power. I just think they're playing really good. And Murphy.
I hate to tell you, that sounds like the Cubs since the trade deadline, or right before the trade deadline.
No, it does. It really does.
And guess what?
Doing the thing.
You may not know this, but the Cubs and the Brewers still have 7 games remaining against one another.
Yeah, I mean that's good, but I mean, think about it. Someone's going to win 4 and someone's going to win 3, so you're going to pick up a game one way or the other, or lose the game. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right. And again, I think all these guys that are throwing so hard and maxing out and max effort type of guys, it's gonna come down to chess on how these GMs and managers play it from here on out, and making sure they're getting their guys rest and not overusing them.
The Cardinals are still in the race for the wild card, and they've actually been playing pretty good. Do you think they will make their way into postseason?
I hope so, but I don't think so. I hope so. I think they're getting closer. They're gaining ground on it. I think Chan Bloom's got a really good game plan. He's had success and made some really good trades. Our local boy, Blaze Jordan, although it doesn't have a lot of the power numbers that I think they would hope, he's still hovering around 250, playing a solid third base, and he's driving runs in, which is really what they need him to do. So I think he's been a pleasant surprise since they brought him up, and he's somewhat stabilized the third base position, which is what they hoped for. They've got to continue to get good innings out of their bullpen, which has been kind of a roller coaster the whole year. So, with that being said, I think they're going to be close, but I don't think they're going to make it.
My friend, as always, we appreciate you. We'll talk to you next Thursday.
All right, stay cool, Wolo.
I will try. I promise. That is Tim Doolin. I tell you, you never know who's going to be here. Will Keys is here, the great pro from Pine Hill. He's got a hat on called The Hill. I know that's Pine Hill. And also, you never know who's going to show up. Normally, we talk with this great gentleman on Fridays, and he still may be on tomorrow. But Jonah Dillon ends up showing up at the Hub. You're working on something today for the Commercial Appeal. It's not about the Tigers. You're out here. What are you trying to figure out, Mr. Dillon?
We're just trying to see how people deal with the heat out here. It's I'm just excited to be in the air-conditioned Hub right now with you. That's the number one thing.
You're from L.A. You never get this kind of humidity, do you?
No, not even this level of the heat plus the humidity is what. Yeah, look, golfers are out here for 4 hours, so they're the ones who are going through it. They're playing at a high level. We're just out here complaining, which is obviously what I like to do. But yeah.
Well, they came up with that new concept this year, which was the perfect time. And I'm not sure how much extra money you had to spend, but the Grounds Plus includes food, but includes as much water as you want. And I can remember what a bottle of water was at least $3 in the past. And you'd probably be doing $30-40 worth of water if it wasn't included.
Yeah, I got here. You got to get Powerade, water, electrolytes, whatever it is. No, that's huge because especially if you're a spectator, you're here all day, walking around the course and stuff like that. If you're not drinking a lot of water, it's gonna go bad quickly. So we were talking to the golfers the other day about how they're going to deal with it, and it'll definitely be a huge storyline throughout the whole weekend.
Have you talked to fans about it as well?
A couple. I haven't done a story yet, but I think we'll see. Especially, it looks like it's going to get hotter basically every day for the rest of the weekend. So let's see what happens when we get to Sunday.
Well, part of the early story is going to be Harris English, who's now 5 under through 13. You might want to keep an eye on former champion here.
Yeah, well, that's why I came out here. We're on the 18th. I think we'll just hang out here in the air conditioning. We'll see Harris English
come through,
and then go talk to him afterwards because it's interesting. Obviously, you see how things develop early on in the tournament, and then who knows? You can have one good day. You never know what's going to happen the next day. But it looks like for now, he's out to a good start.
I wonder how Charles Huff and the Tiger football team are dealing with practicing because when they play in Vegas, which is hot as the dickens, hotter than here, dry heat, of course, but they're playing inside an NFL indoor stadium.
Yeah.
So that won't be a factor. Do you think they're practicing mostly in the indoor?
No, they're doing a lot of outdoor stuff because that's the only – Charles Huff talked about this, I think, last week. That's the only indoor game Memphis is going to play all season. So, yes, they play at Allegiant Stadium week 1 indoors, climate controlled, but then they come back to Memphis to play Arkansas State. And I know it's September, but, man, that game – and I know it's a night game, but it is not going to be cool during that game against Arkansas State, especially on the turf. So – I think they're going to be prepared to play in quite a few games that it's going to be really hot out. And so you got to practice in it. And look, as much as we're talking about being out here, the golfers are dealing with it. Imagine being at a football practice in the summer when you're trying to drill everything down, you're trying to get in shape. And, oh, by the way, it's 100 degrees with humidity.
Well, I am sitting here. It's actually 91. So it's actually cooler than most people thought it would be today. And the humidity is 66%. I don't know what the feels like. It's not giving it to me today. I don't know why. But I don't know. I don't know if I don't want to be outside practicing and 100-degree feels like.
Especially when it's later in the day. I mean, it's getting even hotter 4 or 5 o'clock.
I know.
And that's when they've been practicing in the afternoon. And so, and think about it. You're out there, you're practicing, you got all the pads on. Like, it's a lot to deal with, and that's why hydration is so important. I know people kind of, of course hydration is important, but, like, if you're not starting the day off ready to go and thinking about those things, by the time you get to practice or the end of practice or the middle of practice, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And so it's going to be important for those games too. Like I said, that Arkansas State game, I know it's a night game.
It's a trap game.
Oh, 100%.
It's a trap game.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting, especially coming off of the UNLV game, win or lose.
Right.
There's going to be a huge narrative shift with this team because the whole offseason we've just been talking about what is Charles Huff saying, what does the future look like, and the exciting things about that and the new stadium and all that. Once you get to that UNLV game, the story is just about football. It's not about any of that stuff.
Right.
And so there's going to be a huge narrative shift, I think. And then you're going to have the Boise State game, obviously, coming up after Arkansas State, which everyone's going to be talking about all week.
Right.
Arkansas State, by the way, they don't have a week 0 game, so they're spending their whole training camp. They're just thinking about Memphis.
And they think a lot about Memphis because that's a rivalry game for them. Not necessarily for Memphis, but for Arkansas State. And you know what? Butch Jones is a pretty good coach.
The Paint Bucket Bowl. Give it some respect,
yeah.
No, that team, look, I think people assume that Arkansas State, because they had some years where they were struggling a lot, they assume that they're just kind of at the bottom of everything. They've won a lot of games over the past couple of years. Butch Jones, really ever since that Memphis game in 2023, Memphis went there and destroyed them, and they had gotten annihilated the week before in Oklahoma, and it looked like that was it for Butch Jones. He was going to get fired.
Yeah.
Kind of quietly turned the whole program around after that. They had a really good quarterback in Jalen Raynor they've had for the past couple of years. He left and went to Iowa State. But that's a program that they went to a bowl game. I think they won a bowl game last year.
Yeah.
And they've won a lot of games. And like I said, they're coming into Memphis. They're going to be super motivated. They have their entire offseason to focus on game planning for Memphis. They're also going to have a week of film on Memphis. Memphis isn't going to have any film on them. They're going to have a new quarterback, and there's going to be a lot of unknowns with that team. And I'm just saying, I think the spread for that game was 10 points. And look, Memphis is more talented, should be favored at home, absolutely. But that's like I said, it's a trap game.
Yeah,
100%.
No, I'm definitely worried about that game. Art, I asked you this real quick a few weeks ago. It was too early. Maybe it's still too early for you, but I want to know because I think there are 6 teams that could win the American. How are you ranking those 6?
I don't know if I can do my full rankings now, basically because I'm going to change them, I think, every single hour until I have to do them the week before the season starts. I'll definitely do some power rankings. It's going to take me a long time to work on those. I think as I think about the conference, it feels like UTSA, when you talk about question marks, it feels like UTSA has the least question marks, if that makes sense.
And a great quarterback.
Quarterback, if you look at the top quarterbacks in the conference, obviously a returner. It feels like that team has been building up to something for a while. They haven't gotten there. And even if you see the way Jeff Traylor is talking this offseason, he's put it on himself. He said, we should have won more games the past couple of years, but I caused us to lose. But their issues are fixable. Like, they can't win on the road. I was talking to Jeff Traylor at Media Days about, he was telling me, like, they're going to change their travel policies. They're going to go earlier or something. Like, that's what they're trying to think about because they've been so successful at home. They can't win on the road. If they can figure out a way to fix that, which feels like a much more fixable issue than some of these other teams. Do you have a quarterback? Is your coordinator on the same page as your head coach? Stuff like that. I think that they have the potential to be the best team in this conference. Like you said, Owen McCown coming back. Will Henderson, their running back, he's going to be one of the best players in the group of 6 this year. He's somebody who power conference teams were after. and I would expect him to be playing legit high-level power conference football pretty soon.
Tigers wouldn't play them unless it's a championship game.
Yeah,
so
that'd be a heck of a game if they get to that.
Yeah. John, as always, we appreciate it. And I know I'll talk to you next Friday.
Yeah, I'm happy we could do this. Thanks.
Yeah, me too. Thank you. That is Jonah Dillon from the Commercial Appeal. I got to take a break. I'll let you know this portion of the show brought to you by Miramichi. Miramichi's in great shape, too. I look at this course. It's pretty impressive, but so is Miramichi. You look at their greens, they are fantastic. You look at the beauty out there, it is fantastic. It is, by the way, not in Millington. It's in Woodstock, 25 minutes from my house in East Memphis. It's about 10 or 12 minutes from downtown. Complete golf experience. They can actually play further distance than this golf course. They can go back to 7,400. They can go inside 5,000, depending on what you want. It's beautiful everywhere you go. It's the complete golf experience. It's Miramichi. When we come back, we're going downtown. The Hall of Famer Jarvis Greer is next.
You have opinions?
I think it's over.
Of course you do.
I don't think it's that simple.
Everyone does.
I got all the answers.
Hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 360-8255.
Listen up, Rebel fans. Your next winning drive starts at Landers Ford in Collierville. The game plan is simple. Find you the most savings possible. Make a trade, lower your payments, or let them buy your vehicle even if you don't buy from them. That's how you keep moving the chains. Just like the Grove on game day, fans all across the Mid-South keep coming back to the #1 Ford dealership in Greater Memphis. New Fords and quality pre-owned models are arriving daily. Beat the rush. Get downfield and see them today in Collierville or online at LandersFordMemphis.com. Here comes the fourth quarter combo. When you own a Landers Ford, you get the support of a certified service tech with the Landers Ford Remote Service Experience program. They pick it up, drop it off, or fix it on the spot, so you're never left watching from the sidelines. To finish the drive, the iconic Landers Ford always brings more for your trade. And now, straight from the 1977 Ole Miss football team that took down #1 ranked Notre Dame, the final snap of the day from Landers Ford President Don Kitchens.
If it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
As reported on 4th 2025 Total New Vehicle Retail Sales Report, Memphis Market.
It's time for the FedEx St. Jude Golf Tournament, which means it's time to celebrate at Half Shell and Forest Hill Grill. Both restaurants are teaming up all tournament week long with happy hour, food and drink specials, and giveaways all day long. After a hot day watching the golf tournament, come to Half Shell or Forest Hill Grill. Always generous portions and pours. Enjoy local draft beers, favorite beverages, and happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. Everyone is a regular here.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Welcome back in. Final segment for me, John Harden, Johnny Radio. He comes your way. He'll be here from 1 to 3. Don't forget, we've got Bryant and Stats. They will come your way with Sports Time. That will take place from 3 to 6. So we're here all day and all day tomorrow. It's brought to you by our title sponsor, Landers Ford. Leaderboard updates come from Sissy's Log Cabin, the Half Shell, Canale Funeral Directors, Huey's Restaurant, Colonial Country Club, Forest Hill Grill, Holly Winter Jewelry, Ronnie Grizzani's, First National Bank, Jim's Place Grill, Bangers Pickleball, Jason's Deli, and Memphis Sports Tourism and the Memphis Sports Council all bring you our coverage of the FedEx St. Jude Classic. It wouldn't be Thursday if we didn't end it with the Hall of Famer, downtown, Jarvis Greer. I'll ask you about your golf memories in a minute. I got to first ask you a little bit about this Grizz release on the schedule and the Lakers sale, because we were bragging about Mark Walter making $2.5 billion in 14 months with his sale of the Lakers to Bob Iger from Disney and Josh Kushner, the brother of the son-in-law, the president of the United States, who used to be, by the way, a partial owner of the Grizzlies. But they made that kind of money. Mark Walter made that kind of money. And it dawned on us, you texted me, the Grizzlies are now worth $3.4 billion. I hadn't seen that valuation that high. All right, $3.4 billion. And when Robert Parra bought them, and I'm not even sure how many years ago, but 15 years ago? Is that right? 10 years ago? Somewhere in there.
I don't know. I can't.
Whatever it was,
that way
he bought it for $350 million. So basically, his return is 10 times his investment.
Yeah. I think it was 364, but that's equivalent. What's a few $1,000, $100,000? Yeah, that's the way it's gone out. The Grizzlies used to be the least valuable in the NBA, but now New Orleans has that spot. The Grizzlies have moved up a couple of spots. And it's more because, they look at, do you own your own arena, which only 8 teams do. And then they look and see, what are your win prospects and all that kind of business. But $3.4 billion is still $3.4 billion, and that ain't bad. And also it's undergoing, and this came out before the $500 million they're getting for the renovations and all that stuff, which I have been in the building several times. Because I do my Grizz Beat show every Wednesday. Now it's every Monday. Sorry, now it's every Monday. We moved to Mondays at 2:00 on Bryan City Media. Also catch it on YouTube. Just put in Grizz Beat, and there we are. All the shows are archived, by the way. But they're doing all kind of work in there, and so it's like they're not like just sitting on it. There's a lot of work being done to the building, but it's not only going to be the building. It's going to be some sort of ballpark village kind of thing around it. They're looking to clean up the area, between Beale Street and the arena. There's an alley there where a lot of the backside of a lot of the buildings on Beale Street, they, put their trash bins out there and all of those. They're going to clean that up and make that into something. And then that area going over there where the walk was supposed to be. Now that's my opinion.
Right.
That's too much land.
That's all the way from FedEx Forum to AutoZone Park. Yeah, no, that's what the walk was supposed to be.
Yeah.
I got to ask you a question. Since you're seeing all the work and stuff, when the heck are the Grizzlies going to sign the lease?
Oh, they'll sign it. I mean, I'm not worried about it. That is on my worry scale. That is a -1 out of 10 because they're doing all this work to the building. They're working on what they're going to do as far as, going forward, how they want to work everything. The negotiations are still underway, so it's not. I'm not worried about it. This lease runs till they got 3 more years left on the lease. It's not like it's going to run out tomorrow, but they've done stuff. They've actually gotten stuff done, and they're doing things. And you don't do that if your lease is in trouble, if you're at an impasse or something like that. So I'm not worried about it.
What did you think about the schedule release back with an MLK Day? That's great. The Governor's Cup's going to have now that is tough. OKC,
Emirates Cup,
Clippers,
Emirates Cup.
Timberwolves, and the only one that's really a team that will be considered inferior to the Grizz, the New Orleans Pelicans.
The Pelicans, yeah. That's c'est la vie. It is what it is. And the Grizzlies are in a tough position there with a new team, basically. No, it is a new team. Because a lot of the guys that you wanted to play didn't play last year. Everybody was hurt. That was not fun at all. But it did net them, the number 3 pick in the draft in Cam Boozer. So, pretty much everybody's happy about that. No, not pretty much. Everybody's happy about that. And one thing the Grizzlies have now, they're going with players that have high basketball IQ and also seem to be, solid citizens off the court. Three Grizzlies got engaged over the summer.
Yes, I saw that.
And Jalen Will, yeah. And none of them have any baby mama drama or any of that kind of stuff. So these are guys you don't have to worry about carousing and all that stuff. They're going to go out and all that, but they're not going to be monks. But I think what they're trying to do is raise the IQ of the team in terms of not just how you play basketball, but how you act and how you regard your craft in terms of being a professional about your workouts, your nutrition, getting yourself ready to go, getting together in the off season with with your teammates and that kind of thing. So come training camp, you're going to be pretty much ready to go. And I think for all the hell we went through with that tank situation last year, like what a third of the league did, it actually worked out really, really well in the Grizzlies' favor to get a guy like Boozer. And they don't want any stupid players around them. Cam Boozer, Edey, and Cedric Howard are all intelligent basketball players. They don't want any.
I hope Edie's healthy. I hope Edie's healthy. That's all
he's
I
a
can say.
He's a linchpin, and he's a monster when he plays. You know, when he was out there for those 11 games, they were 7-4 before they lost a really, really tight contest. Nobody could get offensive rebounds against him. Their defensive rebound totals were off the chart. Their scoring at the rim went up. They were total opposites of what they were, you know, when he was out. And so he just makes everything move better. You know, you get Ty Jerome will have better pick and roll opportunities. Cam Boozer can make a big man because the way he can pass the ball in from the wing, and also, you know, Zach started to score a little bit more as he, you know, started getting his jump hook to work, and of course he's great on putback and all those other kind of things. But you know, he's more than just a putback guy. He can actually score in the post. So, and you know, the NBA is kind of going toward more big men now, as we've seen with San Antonio and the Knicks in the final. So you need a big man that can play. The Grizzlies have that. And as with anything else, it's all about health. You have to be healthy.
No doubt.
And if the Grizzlies are healthy, I think they'll have a chance.
Let me switch gears. Fan Fest. We did the broadcast from the Landers Plaza, which used to be called the Party Deck. Now it's Landers Plaza. Your thoughts about that Fan Fest and what you think is going to happen here in the next few weeks?
Oh, I thought that was the most well-attended Fan Fest I've seen in many, many years, even going back to when I was playing.
2,300, I believe, is what they said.
Yeah, and that was fantastic. Of course, you know, it was plain vanilla as far as what the players were doing on the field. It was just a regular practice. But most everybody, if you know, we were looking for where we were on the Landers Plaza. They were looking more at the West Tower with their mouths agape. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness, look at this thing. It's like, wow. It's like looking at the deck of the Enterprise. You know, it's like incredible. And, you know, it's a lot closer to the field. So, you know, the people that will be in there, I think they said it's 88 feet closer to the field. So you'll feel like you're right on top of it. And so you won't look like little ants out there. And also, you know, you could see the work they've done as far as, you know, the, seats, moving out the seats and all that. Oh, the Jumbotron, I don't know why they didn't turn it on. They were testing it early in the week when I drove by, but they were just doing test patterns on it. The new Jumbotron, they took out the speakers, you know, on either side and expanded the screen into where the speakers were. It is, I think they said it's like it would be the third biggest Jumbotron if it were in the SEC. If Memphis were in the SEC. You know how big and crazy they do on their stadium.
Oh, I know. Well, I've seen Ole Misses and Mississippi States, and I know they're gigantic, and this one's every bit as big as that. It's the ribbon that I'm really curious about, the one that's 80 feet long and 18 feet high, because they're going to have video on that. It's not just – yeah. I mean, that is going to be
video,
crazy.
You can do whatever you want to do. Yeah, you can do whatever you want to do on that, you know. So that's going to be something that's really going to be wild to see.
Last thing. In 1 minute, your FESJC favorite moment.
Oh, the very favorite moment and I think this would top a lot of people's, was when Jerry Pate took the dive in at 18 after winning the tournament. I think it was
I forgot about that. Yeah.
I think it was still a Colonial then, but like I think
it was. Oh yeah. Oh, definitely it was. Yeah.
Well, if I win, I'll jump in the water. And so he won. And they were all pushing him to go jump in the water, and he jumped in. I mean, he owned up to it. He ran up, jumped in, did a few backstrokes, spit out the water, you know, like. And so that was a fantastic scene, and that was a great celebration of the tournament and everything that St. Jude means to Memphis and to the world, and how, you know, the tournament has grown. I watched a little bit today of the tournament on ESPN. It's on big
ESPN,
big ESPN right now. And
I know it.
They got a lot of aerial shots, and they got some town shots of Memphis downtown and everything. And it's like, what the heck are these people doing? This don't make any sense for them to take this tournament out of Memphis. It makes no sense.
And they're gonna. And Greensboro's getting one thanks to Raymond James and the state. Incredible. Anyway, I'm out of time as always.
All right, Dave.
That'll be a discussion for another day. Thank you, my friend. This final segment of Wallow and Friends is brought to you by Ken Garland. Ken Garland Custom Home Builders. He knows you're making a major decision. You're building your dream home. Maybe you're looking for land for that. Maybe you've had it in in your family for years, you're ready to pull the trigger now, you're not sure how to utilize it, Ken knows, because it's third-generation business now. Ken Sr. started it. Ken Jr.'s run it for years. Williams in the business now. You're talking about 80 years of experience. So the greatest dream homes built around our Metroplex for all that time. Or renovation. A lot of people, they don't want to leave their lot, their location. They love where they are, but they want modern amenities. Well, I call it renovation with innovation. The California closets, the island in the kitchen, the movie rooms with the speakers in the walls, they do it all. Call Ken. Talk to him. He sees little details, big picture all at once. You'll love it. The only way to go for a renovation or a dream home is Ken Garland, Custom Home Builders. My second grandchild arrived in Nashville last night. His name is Milo. I'm going to see him. I will not be here tomorrow, but I'll see you out here Saturday and Sunday and right back here in studio on Monday. Don't go anywhere. John Harden, Johnny Radio. He comes your way next. So long, everybody.